Hello, I am Paul Howard, Paulhoward.
I'm JT Schenkel, Shankle.
So give me a little bit of history about, you guys are all branded up. Tell me about your company.
All
Go
right,
for it.
I'll go first. So we're probably about 6 months into this, and the name that we go by is Academy Class Dumpsters, and the reason why that is because him and I met about 30 years ago in the police academy. So both of us have retired from the police department, and that's where we come up with this name. I retired. Let's see, it's probably been a week and a half ago. So sometime back, I'm in planning of what I was going to do after retirement. We started talking about this, and we had another friend who had brought up the dumpster world, and we started learning more about it. We took a trip for his 50th birthday party, and we really started learning more and talking more about in depth about how the business would go. And when we came back, we started researching the cans and trucks and all that type of equipment and stuff. And probably about I guess June or July, we purchased our first truck, and we've been rolling since then.
Interesting. So first, I would say thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And so going from that to this, um, other individuals that are coming out of service industry. When I say service, I mean whether it's paramilitary or military.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend this type of industry for a secondary? I mean, I would say it seems a little bit more healthier than opening a
bar. Yeah, and I would say that it's still within the same realm of dealing with the public and customer service. You're still dealing with people and what you learn from that avenue. From the law enforcement side, it transitions into this just as much. You still want to provide that. You still want to leave a good name, just like when you work for an agency. You don't want to tarnish that agency's name. Wouldn't want to tarnish the company name, because obviously it would kill your sales and your future business. So.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
So, what did you start with when you got into it? You started with how many cans? 5 cans, 7 cans,
okay.
12, 20?
Well, there was, as he said, we did a lot of watching, and we did a lot of YouTube video watching, and we had a platform from where I came from. I retired a little earlier than he did. Was in a family business, and then we sold that, and then I had some revenue from there to open a business. And so we were actually looking at doing 2 separate things, and then I just said, let's just come together. We've known each other this long. We get along great. We're yin and yang. He's really more the outgoing than I am, believe it or not. And I said, let's just pull our resources together and knock this out. So Tommy, being more frugal, didn't want to spend the money as much. So we started with a trailer and a truck. I immediately saw the hook truck, said, nope, that's the route I want to go. So we started small, but it didn't take but about a month or two. He realized the trailer was more of a nightmare than you realize. And then I met Sam through Tommy going to one of our meet and greets. Started sending me a bunch of pictures of these trucks, and he's like, "You ain't gonna believe this. Look at these trucks. These things are affordable." And we didn't think they were affordable. You look at these trucks out here, and you think $200,000, $300,000, and then you realize, no, I can get in that under $100,000. There's no way. So I started talking to Sam. Next thing you know, I'm buying an International from Sam. I moved Tommy over to the F600. The trailer's just sitting there. And then from there, now I've just bought a Mack truck through Sam, another big truck, and we're trying to sell the F600 because it just makes sense. I mean, Sam taught me just that short time frame when I was looking at fitting a can on a truck. He was like, man, don't just buy for what you got, buy for your growth of your company, which made a lot of sense. So we went from only being able to transport 12 to 14 foot cans to now we can transport between 14 to 18 foot cans, which, hopefully that's where we're going to be with some things we got coming down the line.
Great.
So
how do you guys market your business?
Well,
we're learning that portion.
Yes.
We have all our cans. We have all our cans marked up now with the striker, Rent Me, and our logo, and we have a website, and we have a social media platform that we're working with. But being cops, we didn't know a lot about that stuff, so we're learning. And Sam, everybody that we've been around has been great. This is more of a family. This is more like the locker room of the police department than any job that outside of what I've done that I've ever seen. This is probably our maybe 4th or 5th get together like this, and it's just growing. But we did see that through the YouTube videos that there's a lot of support for this industry. And the values that we had from the police department, you know, our morals, our moral compass has not changed in the way we treat people and the way we want people to treat us. And we walked right into that. And Sam, when we met Sam, he was just, hey man, what you got is what you got. If you got a trailer, you got a trailer. Love you just the same. This is what we have. If we can help you, it's been a family atmosphere. I feel like if there was something wrong, Sam, there's something wrong. If everything's great, things are great. We can have that conversation. But there's a comfort there, and we seek that, being not say that we're judging people or we're looking, you know, beyond the skin, but I mean, we feel like we can trust the conversations that we're having. And we look for that in this business. And Academy Class, that's what we stand for. And we don't want to waver from that any. Our story is unique, and a lot of people maybe they don't think the policing is such a great thing in this world today, but for us, it's who we are, it's what we do. We're not going to change from that. We're just bringing that into this industry. Being retired is great, but I knew for me, I had to have something else to do. We're riding around in these trucks. We got the best, you know, that we could have, and we've got the support of the community that we're in. We just went to this Texas expo. All the big names and the YouTube world were there. They just treated us. I mean, they even recognized our name from the you know, the computer, from YouTube and, you know, Facebook messaging back and forth. But it's a different feeling. I mean, it's odd. But when we watched the videos before, when we were in at his 50th getaway, where we sat down, yes, 50's 50. When we went away for that time and we did the family thing during the day, and at night I said, hey man, let's watch these videos. Watch Josh Roman, watch this guy, watch this. And he started getting introduced to those things. He's like, man, we could do this. And here we are. Now we've got a lot more equipment out there than we have work. But a lot of that's been because I've been still working, and we've been, you know, doing the back seat stuff. Now we're kind of taking a front seat drive approach to this now to start doing this marketing thing. But we're learning. This helps us. Sam's helped. This is an opportunity that maybe we wouldn't have had, but it's because of this community. It's because of this group that we're in. You've met a lot of those people tonight. They come from different backgrounds and different ideas of things, but our foundation's there. We're just learning more about another avenue of revenue, of fun, of an opportunity to get out and meet people. I like to talk. You can probably tell, so tell me to shut up if I talk too long. But that's us. I mean, we could be genuine. We don't have to be anybody else.
I love it. So what advice would you give? Like I said, would you recommend other individuals getting into this industry? What type of freedom has it afforded you?
Well, we don't know the 100% all the freedom yet, but I mean, I mean, what we know and what we heard coming in. I mean, if you are at this point like us, we've already planned it. I mean, there's things we do together outside of work, you know, that we plan to block off dates and just say we have this not available or that available. So it can be somewhat, but I think it comes down to your drive. I mean, do you want to work really, really hard and every day and do this, or do you just, like for us, do you want to work and it does what we want it to do, and then we can take some days off, you know? So, I mean, I think it's scalable across the board, depending on what you get into. I mean, obviously, like I said before, I've had some revenue to put into this business to start it, so which has been very blessing to us. You know, where some people be taking loans out, and then you've got that monthly payment you got to make, and you know that's a different category. You know, so in that aspect, it's hard for me to say, oh, this and that, but I mean, I just think it's all depending on where you go. I mean, if you come in trying to go real high, I mean, it could hurt you a little bit if you're not hitting the road and making the sales and turning the dumpsters. But if you come in the middle of the road and just work your way up, but I mean, some of these people are, I mean, that were in here before started out just with a dump trailer, and they've scaled themselves up, you know. So I think it's very doable. It's all about a mindset of where you want to be, you know. So that's what I like about the business. You can work up to this point and be okay with that, or you can keep going higher, you know. So I don't think anything holds you back, so to speak.
And we haven't had anybody say,
yeah,
don't get involved. And that has been the welcome mat for us.
Sure.
When you were trying to decide, you know, we've got some revenue to invest in something. It's got to be something we like to do, you know, tinker around with trucks and me, detail, clean, and get out and meet people, wear a brand you're proud of. There's things we got to learn. And it may be that in 6 months we're so busy that we can't go to Marathon 40 for your 51st birthday, but it's fine. It's okay. It's 52. It's it means we're in a good place.
Yeah.
But we're surrounded by a lot of support, and there's a lot of businesses out there where you feel like, my family owned a restaurant. Don't do it. Never did I hear go open a restaurant. We worked in the bar industry in the type of law enforcement that we did. There's not many people that tell us to go open a bar. We knew those kinds of things. Financially, we could have opened a bar, but this came to us in a weird way, and we're just trying to give back to it. And I think in this community, what we put into it, we will get back. And maybe in every business, you don't get that. You don't see that. You don't have somebody that's not just trying to sell you something to get it off their lot to make money. If it's not the right thing, Sam, hey man, maybe look at this truck. We've been there. This truck wasn't for us. What about this one? And it's encouraging. I don't go home and feel like I'm defeated because I don't have any support around me. And in law enforcement and police officers are very supportive of each other. And I feel that same energy here. Just talking to one of the guys out here tonight, he was a Citadel graduate. So we had a lot of conversation about where he came from, his background, how he got into sales and what he's doing. It's an easy conversation. I don't feel like I got to cherry pick who I talk to because maybe they're not as supportive as the other person. There's a lot of support here. It's been really good to us.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it has. And I mean, because I worried about it when we started this networking thing initially. There wasn't that many people close to each other, but now it's really been growing. And it's like we're right next door to each other. And in a sense, you could say competition, because I even said to him, so I'm like, but there's enough to go around. And the biggest thing that we find already happening, and we're really looking forward to it too, as far as getting into it, is helping each other out. Like, man, I'm overwhelmed. I don't have a can to take over to this place. You want it, go take it. Just today, one of the young guys was telling, man, I've got this great thing going with this guy. I'm done here. Go get it. You can make the extra money, but it keeps him going with that customer, and he doesn't lose the business. So that's been really good. I mean, because kind of getting into this, you don't know what cutthroat you're getting into. Whether or not somebody's trying to keep you from doing this. And we know who the cutthroats are. That's the big wigs. That's Republic and Waste Management and all of them. And they'll come after some of the bigger known people. I mean, we're not out there like some. I mean, we just heard it this past weekend. The guy that hosted the dumpster expo. I mean, he basically said when he got to this point, I mean, he was getting threatening phone calls and stuff like, we know where your cans are. We know where this is at. And so not knowing who that is, I'm just saying. I mean, there are big wigs in it, but we're trying to carve out a piece for us, and there's plenty of trash, I think, to carve out that piece, and just like I said, and if this goes from, hey, just as something to keep us from sitting at home and going stir crazy, to something that ends up being multi-employees, then great, but I'm not putting that pressure on us right now with that. We want to get out and do good, and we really want to provide good customer service. We want people to say, hey man, they cared about us, they cared about where we placed the can, how they placed it, what we needed, any questions, that kind of thing. So
that sounds great. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. No,
No.
spoke from the heart. That's what we're looking for.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
much.
for your time.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
All right.
Beast of a truck.